So I'm trying to make what I think is Uganda's first short film that's like a
You're
sex
making.
dramedy. So my film is called I Eat What I Like, and it centers a mom and a daughter who are pretty much going through their own journeys when it comes to sex and sexual pleasure. So the story kind of brings them to a point where they have to realize like we're actually more alike than we think. I recently told my mom about the story for the first time because I was like, yo, I'm about to crowdfund for this thing. It might be everywhere. Let me just tell you what the story is. Her first question was, is this about me?
Welcome back to our Mobjazz podcast. We're all sick today.
For real.
We're all sick, including our guest.
Mine is more mental.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. What episode is this? This is like episode 20.
23.
Wow, this is episode 20.
Hey,
this is episode 23.
Jordan. Yeah, 23.
Oh,
Jordan episode.
Of course, I'm on episode 23.
Fire. Our guest today is
18.
the incredible.
Marvelous.
Should I call you by your stage name or your government name? Stage name.
Stage name.
Shari
Come
Brown.
on.
Yeah.
Wagwan.
Let's go.
Damn, I always thought that was your government name.
You thought Shari Brown
Shari
was
Brown?
her government name?
I mean, I get it. I you know,
You embody it.
it. I was
Yeah.
looking for that word.
Nah, that's only for Nigerians.
I have a
Don't go by
question. Where did the name Magic come from?
that. Yeah,
Magic
finally,
Mike.
You've been dodging. You know you've been dodging it. You've been dodging it.
It came from high school. I got it in high school.
That's all you're going to say.
No, it's still going on.
Okay.
I'm just trying to remember like how it happened exactly. So I remember I had watched the movie Magic Mike, and I went to school the next day. And for whatever reason, I was showing the guys the dance moves I saw.
You're lying.
The day before.
Yo, he
What?
always leaves this part out of the story. I've never had this part.
This is how once and for all. So I was showing the guys the dance moves, and then some guy, I don't remember who it was exactly.
I think it was Mark.
Either Mark or Lagoon or Dan, one of them. I was like, hey, Magic Muchibi. And the thing stuck. I didn't like it, but the thing stuck. To this day, I'm still
So
being
people
called
call you
Mm.
Magic,
Only me.
Clearly.
Like, how did they stop calling him Magic, bro?
right?
That's such a fire nickname, honestly.
I like it.
I failed to shake it off.
Bro, I was just shouting, but I didn't know it was from the movie, man.
Do you know it was from Magic Mike?
I really
Did you
didn't.
guys go to school together?
Not at all.
I don't know. I just thought you did.
That'd make it more fly or less fly. Now it's from Magic Mike.
It makes him, man, now like I'm imagining you.
Doing the dance move.
Yeah, but what dance would you do? That's fine. That's gross. Just doing that for your boys. For the bros.
It wasn't just for
They're
the
doing
boys.
Magic Mike moves for the bros.
Why?
No, it wasn't just for the boys. I remember it was like in the lunch
It
shed. There
wasn't
were boys
just
and
for
girls.
the boys.
The boys and
Yeah,
girls.
the boys and girls.
Actually, like the class. The class.
But what was your what
What was that
entered your
goal?
mind? Yeah, you said let me show these guys
That
and
movie
then what?
touched you.
I don't know what was in my adolescent mind at that time, but I just playing around.
I'm imagining Magic going like,
Nah, that's true.
you know.
Did you do any groundwork?
Nah.
Like,
Whoa.
like alcohol waffles.
Was there a
We
poll?
have alcohol waffles in the
Did you
class.
use a poll?
So wait,
But I
did
remember
you,
most of it was just like waist movement. Like, that's what I remember. Like,
That's
Magic
why
Mike
it's wild doing that for
guys,
the bros.
I don't think
man.
I've ever
And
watched
girls.
Magic
It was for
Mike.
the
You've never-
class.
Lying.
I've never watched
Oh.
Magic
But you know who
Mike.
was in it?
That guy, Channing Tatum. I was gonna say the white black guy, Channing Tatum. The other funny
Matthew
guy
McConaughey.
is the guy from 21 Gun. No, you know the other film that Channing Tatum is in that's funny.
21 Jump Street?
Jonah Hill.
Is
No.
Jonah Hill in it?
No.
Matthew McConaughey is in it.
You see the fact? Yeah, I only know Channing Tatum.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah.
a lot of white guys with muscles in that.
Nah,
movie.
the first one was an actual like movie with a moving story and a plot. The second one was just like fan service.
Gimmick. Yeah.
Just
Okay,
fan service.
yeah.
But the first one was like a guy was like struggling, he wanted to start his carpentry business, but
Is
he's
this
a
Channing?
stripper. Yeah, so he didn't have good credit. So he had to like strip on the side to make money to start his carpentry business.
You know carpenters be having muscles.
That's it.
I'm telling you. Carpenters be having muscles.
Carpenters versus.
Bruh.
Yeah, I'll tell you. Jesus
builders.
has
Which
muscles.
carpenter in which carpenter in
carpenter is
Uganda
it?
have you seen with muscles? Or has come to your home?
All
to
of
give
them
us
have
I
muscles.
promise most
All
of them
have
do. Most of them
Because
do.
I think you think you have no muscles. Those guys be ripped. Don't
So
ask me how I
that's the
know.
thing. Bro, I'm going to go to, what is it called? Metatronics.
Eh,
And do carpentry for like a year.
for muscles.
Yeah.
For muscles.
Yeah.
You
If
guys-
I come
what's
back-
that thing called the plane?
That thing there. That's how they get there.
Bro, the only thing I don't like about those things is your hands can become rough.
Yeah.
Carpentry.
You're going to like
Yeah.
touch someone's cheek and it's just like,
But do wear gloves.
I thought
Wear
girls like
gloves.
that stuff.
Rough hands.
Rough hands.
Some girls do, I think.
There's a guy who told me
Nah,
he used to
nah.
work out and his hands were really rough. And I told him, bro, why don't you put some moisturizer on that?
Nah.
And he's like, no, like chicks dig it. Like they like my rough hands.
Nah. First of all, were they dry?
They were super dry and like they would cut a bit. When you shake them, like if you
This
move
guy
them
was
like
just
this.
clapping sand.
No, that's for women who want to save you, I think. They want to make sure you
They want to
struggle.
what?
Every day I'm sure you struggle. That's like, nigga needs help.
That is just like a more like a rough guy, not so neat and you know.
Yeah, but not when it comes to your hands. Like rough, like get your
I mean,
beard.
twitches though.
Wow.
Like rough looking, not rough. Rough being.
Not rough being.
Okay, I feel like we should
I guess it works for
immediately
Uh-huh.
go into film.
Let's do it.
Immediately. So
What
before,
is
guys,
film?
before we even lose, no,
What
before we
is
even lose,
film?
What is film?
before we lose our, before we
Introduction.
lose guys' attention, I want you to tell us about this movie that she's working on. Go. I'm sure, like you said this a million times, you must
Yeah,
have like
I'm like,
a pitch.
Boom, boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom, 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 boom. Okay, guys. So I'm trying to make what I think is Uganda's first like short film that's like a
You're
sex
making.
dramedy.
You're
I'm
making.
I am making Uganda's
Language.
first short sex dramedy, and for me, the whole thing is like it being a sex positive film, because I feel like often like mainstream media focuses so much on like the negative violent side of sex, especially when it comes to women, right? And even just sex education, the way we talk about sex, it's always the negative things. So my film is called I Eat What I Like, and it centers a mom and a daughter who are pretty much going through their own journeys when it comes to sex and pleasure and sexual pleasure. And being a mom and daughter, of course, that's not shit they want to share with each other. So the story kind of brings them to a point where they have to realize like we're actually more alike than we think. I don't know if I should like spoil and just say what the story is, but what I will say is like it involves I'll give you guys one bit because there's more. But basically it involves like at some point the mom's friends from fellowship come over to pray for the daughter because she's leaving for university, and I won't tell you how, but they find her vibrator. Everyone finds her vibrator. So it's just like, yeah, it's that kind of thing. I think it was also important for me to have a mother who is also going through something that has to do with sex, because like we always think it's like a young people thing, or like our moms or older women don't have sex or don't want to enjoy sex. So that's pretty much what the film is about. I don't know if you guys have any questions. We are crowdfunding. Oh my god, I'm so bad at this. We're crowdfunding. We're trying to make $8,500 to make the film, and I think these guys will link you guys in the description with just like how you can donate. We'll also have a Momo code number that you guys can donate to. Yeah, this is basically us, me and my team, my amazing team, saying we need your help to make this come to life. Yeah, I think it's an important story to tell. It would be so great to have like Ugandan actors and actresses like on screen representing things that we all experience.
Yo, listen, I have a lot of questions. But that's, first of all, that's so fly, man. It's a dope idea, but it's so ambitious, fam. Like that, the whole idea, that's just crazy. Like, I don't even know where to start, man. But my first thing, obviously, is like, how do you even go about writing something like that? Like,
so like, weird thing is, it's not even like, I know feature films take long to write. Mine is like a 10-page thing. I started writing it in 2019. It's 2022 and I still made an edit last night, literally. And I think for me, what's changed the most is I've become more daring. So if I tell you where the story started, it was a lot more, calm. No, let's not get, and then the more I get into it, I think is the more daring I kind of get with a story. I forgot your question, man.
how do you go about writing something?
How do you
like
go about
that?
writing something like that?
Obviously,
aside
you're
from-
in like, are you in a chick's shoes? Like, are you putting yourself in a chick's position, the younger girl's shoes?
I think to a certain extent I am, but more than that, I did like a thesis, a research thing in school where I had my thesis was about Ugandan women's experiences of sexual pleasure, and I had to interview Ugandan women from like ages 19 to 55. So their stories are not in the film, but a lot of things that they said or a lot of the results that I deduced from their information, I think is what has inspired what seems to be so wild. So actually, that's the funny thing. People think the story is so wild, but I'm like, okay, but it's
just
it's real life.
yeah.
It's what you guys all go through, but just don't talk about. Yeah, it a bit of it does come from like is influenced by me. It's funny. The first time I recently told my mom about the story for the first time because I was like, yo, I'm about to crowdfund for this thing. It might be everywhere. Let me just tell you what the story is.
How did she take it?
Her first question was, is this about me? And I was like, because like the situation with them is similar. It's like just a mom and daughter who live together. So I was like, no, it's not about you. And then her second question was, do you think it glorifies God?
That's such a cute question, bro. Later, that's
And
such
I
a
was
mom
like-
question to ask it.
I was like, yeah, I mean, the God that I think exists, I think it does.
Wait, how does it glorify
Whatever
God?
that means.
How
to
does
you.
it glorify God? That's so important, man.
In your
Okay.
own way.
But I'm not talking about God of church, eh? That's where
just
you might
God.
get confused by
Yeah.
the answer.
Just God.
I mean, I think for me, anything that is truth or that brings light to truth is good for the world. Anything that counters silencing or counters like stereotypes or counters like discrimination, for me, boom, you're
God.
glorifying
Yeah.
God.
I think I agree with you.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's why I think it is. Because like the story is very much like it's a comedy and I think I'm really funny. So I think it's funny and witty, and I think people are going to laugh. But the reality is like even now, guys, like when you think about like abortion laws and what's happening now, like yes, I'm touching slightly lighter topics because I'm talking about sexual pleasure, but at the end of the day, we need to be able to talk about sex. Like it can't be taboo. Like you have even young girls like getting abortions in dangerous places or like unsafe abortions. Why? I can't talk to anyone about it. I can't tell my parents. No one can find out. I don't have like there's so many things that are so unnecessary. Even just women not knowing that sex is something that they should be enjoying. Sometimes like marital rape is a thing, guys. And for
Gladly.
me, I think it happens because we've been socialized to be like, this is what you give your man, you know? And so, yeah, you don't realize that you don't need to be in that situation
Yeah.
and stuff like that. Yeah.
Have you met any like pushback because in where we live there's a lot of stereotype against having such conversations? So I can imagine, at least that's my first thought, is like, damn, you must be getting a lot of side eyes. Are you?
If I am, I can't
Not
see
seeing
them.
them.
That's
Hell
the
yeah.
truth. Because I'm very much probably surrounded by my circle who's like, woo, woo, woo. Maybe they're there and I don't know. I would say that only like, it's not even pushback, but the interesting reactions I've got is like, some people asking me, like when I share the link or like say, oh, I thought you'd be someone who can like share this with your networks. Sometimes being asked like, can you write a more clean version of this for me to share with certain people who I think can invest? Like, don't put so much about the sex part kind of thing. That's the only kind of like maybe pushback.
What does
I've
the
got
So
it.
what's
Which for me, I'm like, if I don't put the sex thing, there's no story.
Yeah, I'm thinking if there's no
But,
story, like the mom
No,
and
but my
the
thing
daughter.
is like-
Maybe they're like, it's a story about a young mom, coming of age story about a girl.
coming
and
of
her
age,
and
that
her
can't
relationship with her
That's a
mother.
coming of age podcast. I'll tell you that. This is a coming of age
Coming of age
podcast.
podcast.
Honestly, bro, that can't have it works
There's
for a lot of
that.
different things, man. So
I won't
yeah.
lie though, but like even within myself, guys, like I'm also like I'm not perfect. Even me, like I won't lie. There's like certain maybe family members I haven't told about it, and I don't want them to find out. So I'm not like, wow, I'm so brave. I can do this thing. Even me, I'm like, oh.
What
Nah,
about
'cause-
that?
Yeah,
Go.
because I think it's really cool because there's actually like a big gap here when it comes to talking about, like, even see, I'm even having trouble saying the word, you know, but there's like a big, it's like a stigma, especially when it comes to talking about it with your parents. So the fact that that's the whole like narrative
Premise
of you,
of a
Yeah, that's
movie.
the whole premise.
that's going to break some ice. I hope a
Yeah.
lot of people say to their parents. Like,
That's what I would love. I would love if like, yeah, if you're watching it, you're sitting there, especially like young girls and women. I want you to be sitting there with your mom, because there's two characters that possibly represent you and the other person. Like, I think your conversation after watching the film will do something for your relationship in that regard. At least that's what I'm hoping. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to watch this with my mom, but I want my mom.
I don't know if I'm gonna watch this with my mom.
I want my mom to watch this with my sisters. I don't want to be there. Like I want them to be the ones to watch it together.
Why?
I don't know, bro. I don't know if my mom is ready.
Oh, you? Why is it you?
So why should she be with your sisters there if she's not ready? But for
ready
you,
for me? I don't know if she's ready. To like, I don't know if I'm ready to reach that place. Yeah, my mom.
Can I ask you guys a question? Actually, what do you guys think about? Usually like growing up, it's the opposite. It's like moms that talk to daughters about this kind of thing. Dads that talk to sons. Because you just said something about watching it with your mom. Do you think that there should be more room for moms and sons to have the conversation and dads and daughters? What do you guys think? I've never even thought about it. It's just a question that's popped up in my head now.
I only talk about these things with my mom.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
My dad could never. That guy cringes whenever he has sex. He's like, guys, I don't want. But but then we talk about these things with my mom. Funny story. Like 2020. You like enter your room after a long day. You come back home, and I found like 8 condoms on my bed.
On yours.
Hey, I'm like, who has planted these things? And then my mom follows me. She's like, voice. She's like, man, I put these things on your bed because now I can't stop you, but just like do it safely. Guys, I kept them there because the moment one disappears,
you just have in the middle of the bed.
Yeah,
I can't supposed to be on that side.
Even when you sleep on the bed,
she'll find the things.
But yeah, I only have these conversations with my mom.
Did you ever use them?
No, man, she threw them. I actually left them there, like all 8 of them.
Yeah, because I don't know if I want to be ripping a condom. And I'm thinking of my mom, bro. It was just
the weirdest thing is that like in this story, it's okay. They finally have to have some sort of conversation, blah blah blah, fights, everything. I don't talk to my mom about sex.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah,
and yet,
do
my mom and I are so open about everything else, just not sex.
It's not a thing here. Like even me, I have a good relationship with my parents, but talking about.
Yeah.
But then where are we supposed to learn it from?
Eh? That's a good question, man.
Exactly.
Your
That's
movie?
a good question.
Your movie might be the one.
Not that kind of film.
Your movie might be the one that like really breaks the ice, fam. Like it might be the one. Might be what guys need.
Guys, that's why you should donate.
Honestly, guys need
Let's
to
do
donate.
this for the culture.
It's so funny you mentioned condoms because I recently moved back home, and when I moved back home, I had so many condoms, bro. Bro, I had so many condoms that like I could barely hide them. Like,
what do you mean you could?
This is my thing.
Like
they
2
were,
steps,
like
one falls out of your pocket.
They were hidden.
Yeah.
They were hidden. But then, I live in a small house, bro. Everyone's in everyone's space.
Yeah.
So them just coming the slightest bit into my space.
They could.
I'm sure they found these condoms, but no one said a word. But I know that everyone has seen these condoms.
First of all, why did you have all those condoms? You make them sound like they are 60.
Listen, bro, I have to stay safe, man. You have to stay safe
I
in
was
the
about to say
streets,
to be safe.
Not 60.
Not 60. I don't like. It's not like an ungodly amount of condoms, bro. It's not like. Remember how guys used
There's
to.
a pallet.
Remember how guys there used to be condoms at the hostels.
In that car dispenser.
Oh, yo. Actually, we used to have those in the bathrooms.
They used to put condoms, in the bathrooms and in the like corridors. Okay, guys used to take those condoms.
Those things would last like one day.
Guys would.
They would get finished quickly.
You're playing.
We had, for some reason, we had like female condoms in ours, and that's the first time I ever heard of a female condom.
I've still never seen.
I still don't know how they work, man.
I still
won't lie
never
to
seen
you.
one of those. You know, I was like,
We had
I've
a
never-
sex ed teacher when I was in high school who came and
least you-
walked us
oh,
through a
you
lot
had
of
one.
these things. But this was in like when I was now in Canada now. So they were
okay.
way more work. So they came with like vibrators and stuff. They came with dildos. They came with like cock rings, everything, bro. Put it on the table. Bam, like this is how you use what ABCs. I use this. I use that. This. I use this. That's actually very, very informative. There's a lot of stuff I learned that day.
What's you guys' guys? Is it okay for me to ask questions on your podcast?
this
Yeah,
is Mobjazz
feel
after
free.
dark.
What's
real
your?
Mobjazz.
Yeah, I was about to say
Mobjazz
you guys will
after
tell me when my
dark.
questions are
Most
getting too
dark.
far. What's your take on like sex toys, especially like not sex toys for yourself, sex toys when it's you and somebody else? I'm curious about what men think about that, because sometimes it's like, do you feel like, this thing has taken my place?
You think I'm not enough?
Yeah.
Nah, I think it's cool, bro. I think it's cool.
Man,
for
I think
chicks
it's
too.
your bad day.
Yeah.
You think what?
It's your
definitely-
friend.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's like a collaborator, bro. But then, as long as nothing's going inside me, bro. Like I feel like that's where I draw that line.
Okay.
Everything else is cool, but like I've seen some of this shit where, bro, it's a bit intrusive, man. It's a bit.
That's not your thing. That's not your thing.
But then like it's cool if she's the one like using it because she's probably the one that needs it. I don't know if I would need.
Would you use it on her?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're just like, just don't.
Yeah, just don't cross within me.
Are you sure though? What if one day you
Don't break
realize
this threshold?
there's something about
You think,
it?
yeah, it's kawaii. Yeah. Mobjazz after dark.
Yes, sir. We shall keep that one for a Mobjazz.
What's the intro for this episode?
Do
Do you already have one?
you know? I think we might just stick to using that clip. That clip got a lot of traction.
Which
It
clip?
was the same clip. Deno's clip.
Genesis
DJs.
clip.
Talking about the
No.
DJs.
When I say intro, I mean,
Oh.
you know how you keep doing different intros for each episode, right? Like
Yeah.
Star Wars.
So Genesis, we didn't.
We didn't do that.
Oh,
we did.
Yeah, you just started with like him saying the thingy, and then you went into the
Yeah.
episode. I remember.
Windek was sick, man.
You had an idea for us?
I thought this is a sick pod, bro.
You had an idea for us?
No, I was just gonna like try and think of something super sexy.
Because I
Yeah.
was-
Sexy.
Oh, it does be like sultry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mobjazz.
Now, what do you put up? What do you
That's
put
the
up?
most known theme in the world.
Is it?
I promise you. It has to
Really?
be.
Now the fact that everyone got that
The
reference. Even you at home, you're still laughing.
Oh, I'm doing that one. You're doing that
But anyway,
one, bro.
Sherry, first going back to the movie or the film. Aside the story, what other challenges have you faced while writing, making it? And also, out of all the positions in the film crew, which ones are you? Which one?
Okay. Cool. So I wrote it, so I'm writer, but I'm also going to direct it. So those are my two roles. And then I definitely like, I'm acting like I have a big team. I do the marketing pretty much. And I think even post like production, I would love to be involved in the marketing side. So I think those are the three main sides for me. Challenges that I have faced like in the process of writing.
Yeah,
or
up until now, anything.
Okay, first one is financial. That's why I'm crowdfunding. And I think a big thing that I think is a thing that happens in your mind, and I'm sure it happens for pretty much all Ugandan creatives, is like when you're writing, you're already thinking, but if I write this kind of, like if there's too many scenes and we have to look for many locations, and that's difficult. Like, so writing with limitations, it's difficult to find the balance between like letting your imagination run wild, but also knowing that like, is this practical? Is this feasible to make? At least for me. Maybe there are some people who are like, it's okay, I'll try the impossible. For me, I'm like, okay, where I am, what I have access to, is this feasible? To be honest, the story started with like over 3 different locations. Right now, it all happens in one location. Not to say though that it's now more boring or anything. I actually think it's better. So I think maybe that's strengthened story over, because you can decorate your story with so many things, but sometimes when you have very little, your story better be strong.
Fire.
So yeah, I think the financial thing is a difficulty. I think finding the time to write, on top of the discipline, it's the time, because I don't right now I can't afford to be a full-time filmmaker, so I have a job, I have work that I'm doing, I have other things, so like, yeah, setting time aside to write. There's times when I didn't touch this script for like a year, or I didn't touch it for like months, and that's why it's probably taken me that long to get to, okay, this is it, we're doing it. And those are like the things I can think of when it comes to, I'm not yet in the production process with it, so that's what I can think of. Yeah.
No, I don't want to know. You see how you said, okay, cool, you have to write for now just one location because that's where it's going to be shot. My thing is, obviously that puts a lot of pressure on the writer, because then the writer has to, like, everyone's going to be scrutinizing just the writing,
just
right?
the writing.
What's your favorite movie that's just in one
location? Damn.
You should have prepared us
You
for
know
this
yours?
question, man.
Do you know yours? I just thought of it.
I don't know my favorite movie.
What's yours?
I was so scared that these are the kinds of questions that were going to come, because when you ask me that, I forget. But like,
I can tell you mine as you guys think.
Mm-hmm.
what's yours?
That was a
I
movie,
know
eh?
yours,
Do
but
you?
yeah, we've talked about it, but
Are you sure?
tell everyone.
I don't know if maybe it's a different one then. Anyway, this is James McAvoy movie called Lock.
Is he in a car?
Yeah.
That's my.
Bruh,
I was,
that
but I thought it
movie
was
is
Tom.
so
I thought it was Tom Hardy.
No, it's James McAvoy.
He's in the car on his
On the
wife
phone
is
the
in
whole
labor and he's in
time,
the
yeah.
phone the whole time.
Bro, that
Something at
movie
the
was
office.
so fire. It's like an hour 30 or 2 of just this
Yeah.
guy driving. He's like on the
Yeah.
express or some shit.
Is it called Drive?
It's called Locke.
Oh, it's called Log.
Yeah. I think his name was John Locke or something.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's
I
just
know this movie.
all the interactions
Yeah.
are
On the phone.
phone calls or like stuff on the radio.
I can't believe we watched
And-
that for 1 hour 30
Bruh,
minutes.
I could not believe.
That film is so good. I had to study. It's like it was part of my film course. Like it was one of the in one
That
of my
movie was so
modules because
fire.
it's really good.
What's the one of the
Is there?
that boy on a boat with a tiger?
Oh,
That one
Life
too.
of
Yeah,
Pi.
Life of
But that's
Pi.
like
Yeah,
it
Life
was
of
several
Pi.
locations.
There was
But
several.
because then they
Yeah.
keep
He was in
flashing
India.
back to like
Yeah. The one that comes to my hand is
Yeah.
to my mind is Don't Breathe. Was that in one location?
I haven't watched that.
The one where the guy. Have you seen Don't Breathe?
Uh-uh.
Then where the guy is blind and he's in the house and he's like this
Yo.
guy's breaking into his house. And-
Like he does.
Yeah, the kids
Then he
break
took
into his
them to
house
like
and
a
the guy starts
basement.
taking them out.
It's
blind
not
guy.
one location. It's one
Does-
primary location.
Does Knives Out count? Okay, Knives Out is also one primary
I've
location.
never watched Knives Out. What's
No
Knives Out?
way.
Nah.
It's
You
Who
should.
Done It with this
Yeah.
guy. What's
Guys,
his name?
guys.
From James Bond,
Yeah.
Daniel Craig,
I've never
and
seen it.
Captain America.
And
What was
guess
the
who it
one?
has? Guess who it has?
Who?
Guess who it has?
Like it.
Yeah.
No,
I'm only
actually.
thinking of sitcoms, you guys.
When
No
did that
movie
movie
comes
come
to
out, bruh?
mind.
Like
Knives Out?
2019?
Yeah, 2019, I'd say.
What about the exam? You guys watch the exam? You know what's the exam?
That sounds very familiar.
A British
What is
movie.
it about?
So they
You guys were in a room, yeah. And like they're all here to take this exam to join some company. It's like the original what's the name is the Asian thing that just came out last? Squid Game.
I'm dead.
It's like the original Squid Game, bro. Because them they were doing an exam. So what everyone has a paper and what they don't really tell them what the exam is. And bro, just know people keep dying, man. People
In
just
that
keep dying in
room.
that room.
Have you watched a movie called The Room?
Yeah. Oh, but that's.
Yeah, that room was
A
sad,
bit
bro.
I
sad.
haven't seen it, but I remember it was in one location.
I think it's also a book.
Yeah, it is. No, I think it's based on a real life story.
No.
Yeah, I think it is.
Ah,
What's
no,
the
no,
I
no,
swear,
no.
this chick
So
was.
this, yeah,
uh,
she was kidnapped and basically kept in like this like underground room for like years.
And she had a kid though.
Yeah,
That guy
she
used to
even
come in
gave
and like
birth.
rape her and sleep with her and then leave.
How
like
did they find
when
out
I say
he's
like he would
gay?
rape her as in have intercourse with her, and then sleep in that room with her,
Yeah.
and then leave in the morning.
Yo, her child even turned like 6 or 7.
Yeah,
that-
kid was
in that room.
grown, and him he just knew the place as room. Like
And
that
this-
was his
this
whole
is
world.
what I
She made
didn't
it
watch
into
it.
a world for him.
Yeah,
I
that was
remember.
so fly,
Yeah,
man.
she made it a world.
Kiddos are so dope.
Man.
For them, they're just kawa, no matter the
Man.
circumstance, man.
They're good in short bits.
Yeah, bro. them-
Small sizes.
Their perspective is just there.
Like
Kids,
They're
yeah?
short-sighted.
Yeah.
small doses.
Honestly, man.
But that means them present. They're just here. As in,
Yeah.
for me, that's what I think it means.
How long is the short?
I would say it's gonna be 10 to 15 minutes.
Okay.
10 to 15 minutes.
Mm.
Another thing I'm really excited for is the music on the film. I
Eh.
don't even know what's gonna be there yet, but like because I love music, I'm just like I want to do something with like definitely like Ugandan musicians. There's like a specific Karun song I
Really want to put in.
Yeah.
You will find a
So,
way.
yeah.
Mm. And then how did you pick the actors? Like who would play what role?
So far, I know who Helen's gonna be, and I know who Sasha's gonna be. That's the mom and daughter. Oh, and I know who. Oh, so okay. Another spoiler: the mom is like 50 something, separated from the girl's dad, but she has like a 30-year-old musician boyfriend. I don't know how many of you know Abasa.
Master, the drummer,
Yeah. So
Yeah,
he's gonna
fire.
play. I want him to play the
the boyfriend.
boyfriend. Sasha is Chasey Kababito. Guys, I'm
Shout
not
out
joking
Tracy.
when I tell you I didn't even when I wanted, like, I didn't know Tracy acted, right? And one day I'm scrolling through Instagram, I land on like some IGTV video of her in her car, and I start watching it, and I'm just like, she has to be Sasha. That's all I know. And then like fast forward 2 years later, she's in Sanyo, and I'm like,
yeah.
you're so good. So yeah, she's Sasha. And Helen is hopefully going to be played by an actress called Jida. If you're watching this and you're like within the Ugandan film world, or you've watched Ugandan films, you absolutely know her. She's like,
who's Jida? What has she been in? Is she on any of like the TV shows?
No. Or not that I think. No, not that I know of right now. But yeah, those are the two mains.
That's
and then I guess the rest we'll figure out as we go.
How many characters are gonna be in it?
1, 2, 3.
Are there any men?
6. Just the boyfriend.
Yeah.
The
we need a focal point. I always need that, bro. In movies and shows, I need like someone to root for.
So at the moment, it's like 6 characters. Yeah.
Okay, that's dope.
What would you say is the state of the like Ugandan film industry right now? Are things looking up? Are things looking? What's your take? What's your take on it right now? That's something I'm very curious about because you're actually in the industry.
Yeah.
So I remember when we asked, if I can give you, when we asked Lukman this question, he said that things are looking up because there's young people that are doing stuff like him and blah, blah, blah. But me personally, I don't feel it as a consumer.
Yeah, so that's where I think there's a gap. I think things are, in my opinion, things are looking up within the industry. The people within the industry can see that things looking up, but there's a gap between like how that's communicated or like shared with them and their consumers. Because I think where the industry is at the point, when you say looking up, I don't think that statement is based on Ugandans are watching our stuff and Ugandans are making money for us. That's not what it's based on. So that's why there's a disconnect, which I agree with you on. So I think it's looking up to like the people with, like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what
filmmakers are finding ways to make money.
Like, do you know what it means for Lukman to be on Netflix? It means that you got this meeting with this. Do you know their headquarters are here? But what does that mean to your average Ugandan? You know what I mean? So that's why I think there's that disconnect. Do I think things are looking up? I don't know the answer to that question because I don't know the answer to that question. I think right now where I am as a filmmaker, I'm very focused on my journey that I can't speak for
the whole industry.
The entire industry.
I feel like that's where all the filmmakers are now. Like they're all like, listen, let me just blaze
Tunnel
my
vision.
path. Hopefully it will make sense in the end.
Yeah.
But right now I can't worry about if everyone's going to consume.
But I will say that I do think there are so many more opportunities out there. And I don't know if it's because, and not out there to leave Uganda, to still make what you want to make. I don't know if it's because my eyes are more open now, but just in terms of like, guys, even just access to something like Netflix, I don't know, 5 years ago, it wouldn't have been as easy for me to like dream or like take steps towards. Okay, so I eat what I like, right? It's a short film, but I would love if after this I could maybe get more funding to make it an anthology series, right? And so have different episodes around the same kind of thing, which is sex and sex positivity and all of that. Maybe have like different directors and writers on each episode and I just be like the showrunner. And I think the industry is at a point now where I really think that's possible. So I think that means things are looking up. The fact that I think that can happen and that I can do it here.
I can't believe we didn't ask why you called it I Eat What I Like.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, that's the first question.
Yeah, so that's a good question. Initially, it was called The Dealer. And this I can spoil because that's not the story anymore. Initially, the story was that there was this dealer and they were supposed to seem like a drug dealer, but like the daughter Sasha was trying to buy a vibrator from this person and she was trying to hide from her mom. She's about to go to school. She wants to go with her vibrator. And when she goes to meet the dealer, surprise, her mom is there also buying her own vibrator. That was the initial story and it was called The Dealer. As the story changed, blah, 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 one day I was at an office with a friend who's also a filmmaker and I was eating potato salad for breakfast and he couldn't believe it. And I think he made a comment and I was like, yeah, I eat what I like. And then I was like, oh my gosh, I eat what I like. I was just like, the innuendos in there, like it has so many meanings. And it also just catches your attention. Like, I eat what I like.
Yeah.
I'm also just a picky eater. So I was like, yeah, I eat what I like. And yeah, sexually, people must eat what they like, in my opinion.
On God.
Without
That
being.
vibrator story is so funny because I remember sometime in a lockdown. You know, there was a point in a lockdown where guys just started doing like random businesses.
Don't tell me someone.
Guys were just trying
selling
to now make a
vibrations.
living, bro.
Was this on
girl,
WhatsApp?
everywhere.
No,
WhatsApp,
I think I know the story
Snapchat,
which told
IG.
because I think someone sent me like
A
vibrators
vibrator.
that I could buy on WhatsApp.
But there's this girl who she just started posting vibrators to her Snapchat. So she posted, and then eventually I asked, "Yo, is this like your business, bro?" She got mad at me. She got mad at me for asking. I was like, "Yo."
But then she's the one who
Your posting is why you mad at her.
Wait, what was she mad about?
I don't know, man. She
So
was
why
just
did she
mad.
post them?
I don't, bro. At me, I thought she was selling them. Or what did she think it was like low-key? What did she think, bro?
What?
I was like, maybe she just knew what a man asking. I think she was probably just tired of men asking.
Or maybe she or she
Maybe
was like,
just a
now
bunch
this
of
man,
guys.
where's his comment coming
Yeah,
from?
maybe,
What is he going to
maybe
say
she read
next?
it wrong. Maybe she read it like, hey, this is you. You know,
It's your true
like
self,
on
the
the
true
Sonic.
colors.
But did you want to buy? You can also tell us if you wanted to buy, man.
No, bro, I just wanted to know, man.
If this is what she's up
Yeah.
to. You know, he wanted to support his
Like,
friend.
I was like,
Yeah.
yeah,
Post
I
it,
can
you know,
support
like,
his friend.
support my friend's hustle.
Buy me a plug, you guys. That's the truth I plug. I would have at least spread that message to one other person. Yeah.
Oh
Sit
my
there, ask
gosh.
that. I feel like you should ask a film question. This is the movie guy on the pod. These two
Hey.
guys. These are the movie guys. Did you watch Thor?
Thor is coming out
It's not yet
this
out,
week.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
See.
On
That's
Friday.
what I know.
I
I've
think
been
it is
wanting
online.
to tell you guys. I feel like I should have. Did I mention in the last pod?
We don't know.
Bro, I watched Doctor Strange finally.
Oh, I haven't watched Doctor Strange.
It's out on you know where. Yeah.
At the cinema Takesha.
I watched it. I finally watched it. Yeah, bro. I think I'm over
this
that Marvel
weekend.
shit.
You're over?
I think I'm over it, man. I didn't enjoy Spider-Man.
I feel like I don't answer anything that will get me attacked, and I'm looking at magic.
Yeah.
'Cause I feel like you love Marvel, right?
As much as the next guy.
Okay.
He's not like crazy
You're not
about
crazy.
it.
So
No.
you're like the rest of us. Like, we love Marvel,
Yeah,
but not we die for Marvel.
yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I watched it. It's not even the best Doctor Strange, bro.
Which is the best Doctor Strange? There's only two.
Probably the first one.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, probably. I guess because he has been in so many others,
Yeah,
I made me
that you,
confused. But
because I was like,
bro,
it's not the best
I
Doctor
watched this.
Strange.
I watched this and I was like, okay, but I wasn't like, bro, yes, this is fire. Nah,
You're
it was
like,
Even
just
when he was
why?
absorbing all that. You haven't
Have you
watched
watched it?
Yes, I watched it.
nah.
Should I go to
You
spoiler
can't-
territory? But I guess you did
Yes.
find that cool when all that was happening.
What,
No.
what did you think of it?
Me, I enjoyed it.
Better than the first one.
Did I enjoy it better than the first one? I guess not, because the first one is more memorable in my head. I actually
Yeah.
remember more from the first.
Yeah.
I think I have to watch the second. But I remember having a good time like watching that movie in the cinema. Like I enjoyed it. I thought that they were really like, I like the multiverse thing they did. I like that direction they're going. Yeah, I enjoyed it.
You know, it's weird. You guys don't like What If, but like the Doctor Strange What If episode completely
What's
shits on
What
that whole
If?
movie.
The Marvel series.
What
The
If is like
animated
this
series.
Marvel? It's like a Marvel series, right? And every episode they do like an alternate universe of one of the Marvel characters. So
superheroes?
it's called What If because they're saying so in another
What
universe
if-
this is what happened. Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah.
like-
So the
like
Doctor
What If-
Strange episode in
What,
What
so
If
who
is-
have they done so far?
Like
Or
what
they
if-
done
everyone.
made-
What if Killmonger was the Black Panther?
yeah.
Like,
Oh, my,
what if the
okay.
Doctor Strange one was what if he lost his the girl? Like
Yeah.
what if she died?
What if she died? Yeah.
Oh, I want to check that out.
You
It's
should.
sick.
It's
I wanna
so
check that out.
fire.
What's your favorite
See.
episode of What If, by the way?
I can't remember anymore.
I feel like one of my favorites is the Captain America one, which
Yeah,
they
with-
referenced in the movie.
They redid it in
Yeah,
the movie. Yeah. I was like,
Let me not lie to you.
Like,
I love
that
Doctor
movie.
Strange.
Yeah, I remember you loving
I
it.
love.
This is the
that
same way you
movie.
loved Spider-Man, bro.
Spider-Man was
And
too
I was just
fire.
off it, man.
I guess for you, you're
Spider-Man.
just done with Marvel.
The
Which
Spider-Man, the most recent Spider-Man movie where they all came.
loved it.
You loved it.
Yeah.
That
I
movie
hated
was
it,
too.
bro.
For you now, we've concluded
hated
you're
it.
done with Marvel.
Yeah, I
Bye.
might be
Take
done.
care. Stay safe. Enjoy
I
yourself.
might be done, honestly. I might be done. I'm not excited about Thor. Even just like the poster that you posted, I was like, bro, I never want
Now,
to see
personally,
What? You never want to see what?
that. I don't want to see that.
Yeah.
personally,
done, bro.
I'm
I'm
excited
going to-
for where they're going.
I didn't even
Not
like
even
that.
like the movies are fire.
Yeah.
They are. But where they're going
Yeah, I
is
don't think they are.
Does Marvel have an
completely.
end? Is there?
That's my
nah,
issue.
they can never end
I
now.
feel like they have nowhere. Like now they're just like.
They're just-
yeah,
It's like
they're
the
just
comic books. They
shooting
can
that
keep
shit.
it going as long as we're willing to buy tickets.
Yeah.
But I think I've gotten to a point where I'm not going to watch all of them anymore. I'll
Going to
just
pick
watch,
and
yes,
choose.
pick and choose the ones that I like.
I think that was
Yeah.
before the
Me, I watch
beginning.
all of them as long as they are in reach.
After
Yeah,
telling
I'll
us,
never-
I'm done.
I'm-
I'm done. I'm done. I'm over it. That's what you just told us.
No,
I'll watch all of them.
This is the problem. It's like when I'm watching like Love Island. You should see
Yeah,
me.
yeah.
I be
Yeah.
cussing at the screen. I'm like, what's wrong with it? Sometimes
Have you guys? Has everyone here been watching Love Island?
Nah,
I've
maybe
I've
watched
never
this
watched a
season.
single episode
Let
of
me tell you,
Love
there are
Island.
times in
Me and
Love
him,
Island, I can't even look at the screen. Like I'm just like, what are you guys doing? But I'll still watch
You
it.
still watch
Every
it.
episode that, in fact, now I'm mad.
Is it fire?
Because the episodes are not coming. Yeah, it's
This
fire.
last
It's
season
fire.
has. I don't know what they did.
It's
They
too fire.
injected everyone with like
Everyone's mad.
What's the point of Love Island?
toxicity.
It's
Toxicity level
supposed to be
100.
finding love, bro. But
They're
these
doing
guys
the
are
On an
worst.
island, eh?
Yeah,
that
like
one where
my
they keep
nice,
bringing
like Big
in-
Brother.
They take them to like a
No,
house.
that's X on the beach.
Like Big Brother.
Yeah, it's
Yeah,
not like X
it's
on the
Where they keep
literally
bringing
Big
someone
Brother,
new.
but
Yeah,
you're
it's
supposed
similar,
to be
similar
finding love
premise,
and,
similar
like, the
premise
best
to X on
couple
the
wins
Beach.
money at
Yeah.
the end, so you're also like,
Damn.
Yeah.
I guess that kind of entertainment isn't for me. I watched one which I really enjoyed, but it was because
So-
of my company.
right now on Love Island, they're at a point where like, so you're in the house, you make couples, right? They give you time to get to know each other. But there's another house called Casa Amor, and what happens is they separate you. They either send the girls there and the boys stay in this house, or vice versa, and then they bring new people in. So now you start seeing people's loyalty gets tested, because you
New
know you are
people to
telling this
like.
chick she's the one. Now she's in the other house, and you've met someone new, and you
That's
talking
that's
about
social
somebody
engineer.
specific.
Where do we sign up?
Social interaction.
Bro, I'm telling you, man. They really be manipulating
Social
these people, man.
engineers. No,
Anyway.
but speaking of movies, before we move on, I watched Top Gun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
I've
the
had-
Tom Cruise.
Now that I've had
Mm.
nothing but good things. Nothing but good things.
It
I'm
was
sorry to be
okay.
the bearer of bad news. You know.
Eh,
You're not the first
I
person
love
to
that.
say that.
I love you. I love you.
That
for that.
movie, okay, I'll give it this. It looks very good. Like there's some very sick shots, but like they make those jets look. But I feel like Hollywood now has a formula for its movies, bro.
Hasn't it had a formula for
Okay, but
that?
now the formula is too
blockbusters.
blatant, bro.
Okay.
Like these guys don't even care anymore about like trying to hide the formula. These
Okay,
guys
it's a
were
bit
fighting, like you know when you hear like they're fighting like generic bad guy, like in a movie, like this bad guy was so generic, we didn't even know their name, we didn't know which country
They're
they're
just a character,
in. Nara,
basically.
they were just all we knew about them is that we have to bomb a valley, like they're in a valley somewhere, and
But you see,
bruh,
for me, that's my issue now.
Even-
It's not even a formula, but the way I was looking at that movie is, you know, the hero's journey in like
yeah, in a
filmmaking.
film, yeah.
That's exactly how I looked at it.
Are you talking about Top Gun?
Yeah, the point wasn't the bad guy. The
was
Top
the
Gun was
hero.
the journey
Yeah.
of the main character.
You see the
And
main
that's
character.
why I
But you can
enjoyed it
still,
so
like-
much.
bro, I feel like you can still do that with having like a
with
cool
still
bad
having
guy.
more dynamic, exactly. With
A
having
cooler
more,
bad guy,
Yeah,
memorable.
Okay, I guess-
to your story.
Memorable story.
I guess we're different, which is okay. But me, I think that's probably my second best movie of this year.
Me, I think my brain has now been scrambled, bro. I just think I don't enjoy movies as much anymore, man.
Same.
Like series have destroyed that
when you
shit
say
for
it's
me.
been scrambled, how?
Like now, I want you to stretch things out. Like I want the plot to be straight.
And you know that's so interesting, because I've also found that like when I think of like the ideas of things I want to write, they're all series.
Yeah.
There's like, okay, apart, like even I Eat What I Like, it's a short film, but I want it to be
Be a
an
series.
episode in a series,
Yeah.
you know? Like
Yeah.
everything I think of is
Isn't it-
series based. I don't know why.
Now, me, I have the opposite problem. Like, I'm tired of movies, but not because I think I want them to be longer. It's just that I think that they have gotten a bit formulaic and like boring, man. Like, there are no more movies that are kind of, at least in my opinion. Okay, they're there because
Yeah.
everything
But
everywhere,
that's
not
not-
everything
yeah.
everywhere.
All
All
at
at once.
once.
That was a good.
You watched it?
I saw a bit of it. I
I've not
started
yet
it.
watched it.
I
yeah.
started it, but
You
it's
haven't
watched
looking
it.
good.
I
bro.
really want to watch it though.
And
But,
I came here ready to jazz about
And they told me
that
that that's
film.
like that. Like if you watch that and then watch Doctor Strange, like Like you'll just shit on Doctor Strange.
Which one?
bro.
I'm sure. Like,
Yeah,
that's
I
definitely
haven't
the
watched
case.
Doctor Strange, but
Yeah.
everything, everywhere, all at once.
I'm not.
That's definitely
it has such a long
right now.
title.
It's my number one film. This
Really?
year.
Of the year?
Yeah.
So that one
Oh,
is
no,
like
sad.
it's like definitely like showing the holes in my argument, but I feel like there's not as much variety, there's not as
Yeah,
much
yeah.
diversity in what we're
But
watching
also,
anymore.
guys, leave Hollywood.
Leave Hollywood.
Leave Hollywood.
alone,
So
bro.
do you go
America-
Watch
Bollywood?
other films. I mean, everything.
Bollywood
everywhere,
is
all at
fire.
once.
No, Bollywood is fire.
Bollywood
Yeah,
is fire.
Bollywood must be
Bollywood-
fire.
What-
Yo,
Bollywood-
let me tell you, there's a
Bollywood
day.
must be fire.
There's
Bollywood
a
is
day-
fire, bro.
There's
Bollywood
so
is fire,
many
but
Chinese and Korean films. There's
True.
so many
True.
British films, European
African
films,
films.
French films. Guys, I'm telling you, try other stuff.
But as an English speaker, I don't read too many subtitles.
No, bro, watch Bollywood.
This
Don't
nigga's
you watch
lying. This
anime,
guy's
you
an
guys?
anime boy.
Don't you watch anime?
Hey, allow me to
Yeah.
play devil's
I'm
advocate
like,
on the podcast.
They have caught you.
That's the truth. But even to make that point, by the way, to shut it down, I watch
You're a
dubs
dub
these
man,
days.
yeah.
You
You
guys.
become a
Actually
dub
enjoy
man.
dubs.
What's dub?
Dubbed is where.
That's-
Oh,
there's
dubbed,
English.
Yeah,
dubbed,
like,
dubbed things.
when they
You
do the
guys, I
English.
can't do dubbed things. Like
Yeah.
people
Yeah,
who watched,
purist,
people
eh?
who watched like what's that?
Money
that
Heist?
show? Yeah, people
Dubbed.
who watched it in English.
That's one of the worst
Like a
dubs I've
soap.
ever seen in my life.
Exactly.
It's a
No.
terrible
You
dub.
automatically make the show a soap.
Yeah,
That's
it's
like
a
the
terrible
Englishman, yeah.
dub.
I guess that's why I
think
failed.
that's soap,
Have
bro.
you-
Because I keep telling
Anyway.
people I stopped on
Watch dubs
episode
shows.
Has
one.
anyone
Run.
watched a series on Netflix called Maldivas?
Maldivas.
Yeah,
Mm-mm.
it's like a.
I feel like we have different Netflix.
Yeah.
But I mean, maybe
Maldivas
because
has
we
never
watch
shown
different
up.
things.
Mm.
It's like basically set in like where is it set? Where do they?
Maldives.
No, it's not in the Maldives.
Of course.
Are they called Maldivas?
I don't know if it's
Jump
in
to
like
the first
Barcelona
conclusion, the
or
nearest
something,
conclusion.
or Brazil. It's in Brazil. I think it's in Brazil. Anyway, it's these women who live at like this, let's say like this estate of like apartments, but it's like an they call it a condominium. I don't know what that is.
Condos. Yeah.
Yeah, basically, and it has like a pool. It has everything that you need. It's like a whole world. But basically, in episode 1, like one of them dies in a fire in her apartment, and like the whole series is us kind of like the whole season is us like uncovering who did it or how it happened and shit like that. But like, yeah, I want to recommend it as like something that has like a plot line that seems similar to a lot of things we've watched, but because it's culturally different, I just enjoyed it a lot more. It
Yeah,
just
Money Heist, bro.
felt
Money Heist, we've
more-
seen a bunch of like
Bank robbery.
Yeah.
But bro, the culture is completely different. The way that those guys interacted was
Can I
completely different.
first talk about something? Have you watched the final episode of Stranger Things?
Badly so.
You know, I've never watched Stranger Things.
You're lying.
I feel like I'm coming on this podcast to embarrass myself. I haven't watched this. I haven't watched that. I haven't watched this.
You told me
I
that
haven't
they also
watched
told you that.
The
Stranger
final
Things. Huh?
episode
told me they also
of
told you
Stranger
that.
Things. eh?
I know a lot about Stranger Things because I studied it, but I've never watched it.
The final episode is 2.5
And I only
hours.
studied like the beginning.
I can't remember the
2.5
episode. was 2.5
hours.
Because at the end of that episode, I wanted more.
These guys
Wait,
are
how
taking
many
that
episodes
piss.
are there? Someone
They're
said
like
only
8 to 9 per
five
season.
that they've why were people complaining?
They
complaining
split
that,
it
like,
because they split it in 2. So part 1 had like 7 episodes,
Then this
and
one.
then part 2 had 2.
okay.
So they were like, what are you
But
getting?
that one episode is 2.5. A movie.
The last one, eh?
And I enjoyed it way
How
too
grown are
much.
these kids now?
Probably like
Some guys have
18.
been complaining.
Screenshots
about
I saw that they were like
These are
grown
grown
men.
men.
I can't even call this a kid anymore.
You know that's what they say.
That's the strangest thing. That's the strangest thing about this show.
Okay, the guy's
Grown-ass
contemplating
men.
some deep, just like, you know, like you can see like screenshots on Twitter when they're like having like a deep moment. I was like, these guys are not kids. You guys are contemplating some deep jazz
No, but
right now.
to be fair, they still look like kids. To be
They
fair.
really, and they still
look
act like kids.
Yeah.
I feel like that's
So
kind
much.
of
Like
cringe.
kiddos. No, that's okay.
No,
You know,
but
the only time they're
that
not
thing is-
kiddos is when you see them on like magazine covers, bro.
Yeah, yo,
And this guy
when you
has,
see
like,
them in
a beard.
wait, and they're shirtless.
Yeah,
what,
bro,
and I'm
under your
like,
braids.
What did you think about the final episodes?
Those guys are, first of all, those guys are so weak.
Which guys?
Dapper bros are weak. Bro, I've never seen.
I
what
hate them so
what
much.
you and then neither of you are going to watch it. Are you going to watch it?
I'm going to watch it.
I've been saying that for years.
Okay,
so
what all I'll say,
I don't mind if you say, by the
what
way.
they did to that chick in the last episode, that was a violation. They didn't need to do it, bro. They
Let
violated
me tell you,
her.
I did not. Man, even sounds weak to say, but man, like 2 tears came.
Bro, they.
Like 2 tears. I was just there crying in my
I have
bed.
seen. You know that part of the movie.
Which chick is this? 11?
Nah,
we are not going to
some
spoil.
chick.
Some
Even
chick.
in thingy, aren't they also numbers in Money Heist? No, they are
No,
countries.
they're
Yeah,
cities.
countries. That
This one's only
Capital
one
cities.
character with a number, I think.
Oh,
Unless
okay.
there's another one in season 3
I
or
was
4.
thinking, maybe I was thinking of Umbrella.
12,
Did you guys watch Umbrella Academy?
I do.
I tried that show like 5 times,
Me
and
too.
I can't even finish the first
That show
episode.
is, man, it's fun if you decide to enjoy it. Does that make sense? Like, it's not one of those you watch and be like, it's fire, but it's
You
also
have
based
to-
on a comic, and I love the comic.
Oh, okay.
So now me, when I was watching it, I was like, this thing is, it's okay.
I watched the first season of that show, but I never watched the second season. I found it a bit. It's like one of those shows that goes out of its way to be weird, bro.
No, I'll tell you.
It goes out of its way to be strange. Like even like the
But it's
makeup.
strange.
Yeah, me too.
The
I was
makeup
like,
they
you
use
guys
Are you
are
talking about Umbrella Academy?
Yeah. They go out of
Yeah.
their
It's a
way,
very
bro.
strange show. It's a very strange show. However, for me, it's like one of those where if you watch till like episode 4, it grabs you. So the
I
story
watched the whole
takes
first
time.
season.
Yeah,
It's
that's the whole
like-
first season.
It's
But
like,
after that, I was kind of like,
Yeah.
I don't know if I want to do this.
Have you
man.
watched Lock and Key?
That one was hard.
No.
That was
That one was effortlessly fire.
that
Watch Lock
serious?
and Key.
Yeah, it's on Netflix.
I feel like
okay,
Lock
Shari,
and
let's start
Key.
with that. What have you watched?
Yeah, what the show you watch? What the show you watch?
Guys, I hate this question because now everything is going to.
Boom.
Everything.
Oh, you know,
everywhere.
I'm watching. Guys, you know what? I think I watch like a student because
Mm-hmm.
I was about to say I'm watching this series called Easy right now, and I think I'm watching it because of I Eat What I Like. It's an anthology series. Basically, every episode is different, and it's very similar. Like every episode has something.
You know, you say that word earlier. No,
Anthology
I just
series.
kept
I
quiet. I was
think
like,
that's cutting the
What?
stuck. I like how using like filmmaker language here and think that we know.
anthology. I was
Mainly
about to
because
Google
Like
it at the end
everyone
of the
knows what
episode.
anthology
Ah,
means.
not
Okay,
here.
every episode is different.
Yeah,
So like Black Mirror.
Black Mirror.
Another,
Um,
Love,
I
Death and
actually
Robots.
find that I really like anthologies. I don't know if you guys have seen High Maintenance.
I've heard of
It's
it.
But you've been telling me to watch it for like
Please
3
watch
years.
It's pretty much like this guy. He deals weed basically. He's a weed dealer in New York, and so every episode, like maybe he'll go and drop off weed at someone's house, and the episode will be at that person, or someone will knock him on his bicycle, and the episode is up. So he's kind of like the common thread, but it's about just different New
people.
Yorkers.
Yeah.
There's a specific episode where we follow a lighter from like the 70s to like 2021. So it's just it's really interesting.
That's a concept. That's
That's
very
right. Have you guys watched Russian Doll?
Russian doll.
I started it,
So the trailer.
and I think she's a really great actress. But that's
What
all
do-
I can
what do you
say
say you
right
started
now.
it? Did you watch like the whole first episode?
I didn't finish.
No.
it.
Let me tell you about Russian Doll. I had Russian Doll on my computer for like 2 years, untouched. I started the first episode and I had the accent and I was like, I'm not gonna do this, bro.
She had the
It's
Russian
like
accent?
she has like
has
a
like a-
real
yeah.
New York, like old New York, like gangster accent.
Like
Coffee.
yeah, she sounds
Yeah, like that. Coffee, that shit.
Jersey. I was about to say she sounds like she's from Jersey.
She sounds like
yeah.
that chick from Friends that like Chandler. What's her name? Like a Chandler Bing. You know what I mean?
Oh my
That
god.
one. What is that?
Janice.
Janice.
Ginny.
Yeah, sounds like Janice from Friends. But bruh, that show is too hard. You need to watch that show.
Which show we
I
talking
can't
about
tell you.
Russian Doll.
It's also better and strange
You
than
guys asked me what I
What are you talking
watched.
about this show?
Russian Doll.
You
Russian
guys,
Doll.
does anyone else watch This Is Us? Because it ended.
Yeah, I'm trying to watch it, but it makes me
I've been
emotionally
told, yeah,
those-
balance. I'm on
Those
the new
racial
season,
movies
but
and
That's where it's
series,
going to
man.
make you.
you should watch that one, bro. You'll cry.
That's
though.
the thing.
And that's what
But
I
it's
don't
also
want to
gonna
The
make
do.
funny
you so
thing is,
happy.
the things that make people cry don't.
That one will make
And
you
then
cry.
now for me, like
Total
Stranger
man as
Things
you may
makes me
be.
cry.
Now, if Stranger Things made you, if that casino made you cry, you'll cry.
In
bro.
This Is Us.
Nah,
You
yes.
will cry.
This is us. That one would just make me angry, bro. Like there's
No, it's not gonna
Won't
make
make you angry.
angry, bro.
It's so
Angry.
sweet.
It's not
Won't
the
make
one
you
where the
angry.
guys were wrongfully like.
No.
Oh, the one of the boys who are wrongfully accused.
No,
Which one is
that's
that?
That's
Sa-
when they see
when
us.
they see us.
Yeah, that's the
That's
one.
one. I can't
I
even
never
recommend
watched.
it. I can never watch it again. I don't know why I
Why?
watched it.
I never watched that
Like
one.
it's
When
sad,
they
eh?
see us, that's just like black violence on violence.
Bruh, that's like
Black
that's like
bodies just being traumatized.
But you know America, you guys.
gore. I don't know. Like they fetishize seeing black people suffer, bro. Because it's so realistic in some of these things, bro.
But that one is based on a real story.
Yeah,
Do you
that's what I was
think?
about to
And that's
say.
what they always choose.
Do you
bro.
think some of these things are pushed because of that?
Of course.
Like black people are suffering, let's make it like 5 out of 5.
I mean, let me tell
How do you
you.
mean?
Give
What
it like
do
a
you-
high rating, everyone watches it.
So that everyone can
Oh,
watch
do they
Tobias
use,
as
are
a
you saying,
slave.
do they use that? Like,
Yeah,
of
yeah.
course they do.
Like
Have
this
you Tobias
program.
as a slave?
I've watched it.
That movie was so graphic.
But let me tell you, me, I can't believe
That's
it.
This
how
thing has
Lupita
cool
did.
my
Yeah.
face.
I can't believe that, like, we.
And they're slave movies.
I can't believe that we
them.
pay money and then we niche so that we can go to America, bro. Like, you sit in that
I
visa
was having-
interview
bro, I was having
and they
this
ask you
conversation,
questions
yeah.
about why you want to go there, bro. I can also be like, man, I have no idea.
I don't know why I want to
Like,
go there.
that's the only place in the world you get where your chances of being shot multiply by like 300.
Can I
The
kill
moment
you?
the
By
moment
you
you
enter.
arrive.
Speaking of, I have the stats for the weekend.
For this
Like,
weekend,
July 4th
Independence Day,
weekend.
Independence Week.
So-
on this point, we've been doing
For-
stats
is-
of like gun violence in America. It's been crazy.
This
The stats are
weekend-
insane
Friday to Monday, 220 people were killed, 570 injured.
by guns.
Guns, just
So-
guns.
There were 2 mass shootings
Yeah.
over the weekend. One on
This mass
Independence Day
shooting
itself,
thing in
July
America has
4th.
just become like,
Bruh.
I had-
hey, we were at the shops.
I read some
Been-
statistic recently.
The stat.
Every week
You're
of
at
this year,
school.
there's been a mass shooting in the United States.
Yeah.
Every week of this year, there's been a mass shooting. So for them, it's normal. Actually, I feel like it's us getting shocked on their behalf. There might be actually a normal thing that said like this mass shooting thing.
Also, a mass shooting is. What did they say? 4 more people.
Yeah,
Yeah,
4 more people.
4 more
That's
people
still
getting.
But that's
That's
according to
still-
people,
in
not
one
the
incident.
government.
Yeah.
But then there's also a police shooting. Did you
But
hear
that
that
police
one?
shooting.
That one
they are
was the crazy
traumatizing.
one.
What
But that's
happened?
there's this black guy, 25-year-old.
I tried to like
35.
25, 35.
35.
35.
Kind of news.
Bruh, this guy, just no long story short, was a police stop gone wrong. The guy tried to run. They shot this guy 60 times. 60,
But I love you know they shot him 60 times.
Hold on.
In the
He
back.
was they were chased. It was a chase.
So he was driving.
Yeah,
And
and they
he
tried to stop
They
him.
said he tried to get away from the police, but he was doing 80 miles per hour. What's that in kilometers per hour? That's like what? Probably doing like
probably like
100, something,
close
like
to
120.
100, yeah.
doing like 120. Then he stopped and jumped out of his car and started running. Meanwhile, all of this was because his permit was expired.
Yo.
So he jumped out of his car and started running. They shot this guy 60 times, but they let off 90 rounds.
Bruh. Did
They
you
let
see
off 90 rounds, 60 of which car being.
It's
And
Guys
let me
were
tell you,
reloading.
after he died, after he obviously they've shot 60 times, you go
you
down.
did.
You know they handcuffed him.
Sorry.
Which state is this?
This
America's
was
a
in,
real-
I think,
America's
Ohio?
weird, bro.
What was Ohio? The way they shot the mass shooting.
You know, I never realized
No, that was
how
Illinois.
like. Do you guys
It might
realize
have
like
been
for
Ohio
us
then.
like you can pass police and you don't sit up when like police
Yeah.
are around. Police can walk past here right now and we'll just look at
Bro,
the guy.
yesterday-
Man, it
And
depends.
it's so,
If you're in a car with no permit,
You see a video of that guy.
but not to the extent of
Oh, you're going to
they're
be-
going
okay,
film
you're going to be
it
shot, yeah,
and
true,
throw
true, true.
20K.
You see
yeah.
a snap of the guy.
10K.
Allegedly.
Who did I
don't
see?
know.
I saw Thomas.
Allegedly.
I saw Thomas snapping some guy who was burning rubbish on the sidewalk across from Wandeg's police yesterday.
Thomas.
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 Ocean.
Oh, sh-
He, as in this
Why?
guy, for him, he
You are
just
just
lit a fire
burning.
on the sidewalk, started burning shit. Across around from Wandeg's police. Not one guy walked out to stop him. Guys just be doing what they want here, bro. Like,
No, it's
obviously,
true,
when
though.
we see our police brutality, it's also bad here.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
But like, you're never actually seeing them and thinking, shit, bro, this guy could kill me.
Yeah, it's never like a death. There's like they beat the guy maybe, or he was
Yeah.
mishandled, but
Yeah.
a death in police custody or being shot 60 times. They took this
Ah,
guy's
but
face
guys,
was
let's not
mangled.
say there are no deaths in police custody. Deaths that
They're
we
there.
know
They're
of.
there.
They're there.
But
But it's news.
shootings.
It's
Okay,
news
but
were like
like-
shit.
I know that we know of,
times.
by the way.
have a whole BBC report with a truck that had security officers on it who are indicted for killing 9 people in the campaign.
Yeah.
None of them are appearing in the commission of inquiry.
Oh, not
None
true.
of them are saying anything about it. People are like, oops.
Yeah.
I also saw that thing.
It's
This
fucked
guy
up,
who
man.
was got
It's
with
fucked up.
like bodies in the truck.
I feel like it's a wider security thing. Like,
Oh yeah, I heard about that story.
sort of like isolated from this.
The guys who were transporting immigrants.
Yeah, something like that. And they had a bunch of dead bodies in the truck.
Yeah, in America.
And they got the guy.
Like obviously they were transporting immigrants, I guess, like cross country or something. Yeah, and guys, they said that the temperature in that back thing reached over
Speaking of
120
temperature, this thing has cooled my thighs. First.
Which thing? the
AC, eh?
the AC. I saw-
Your
sorry.
digital thing.
No, listen, America, honestly, I don't know,
I
man.
have no interest.
I mean, they may not like me in the next interview that I do for a visa. They might be like,
But
"Man,
isn't
who does
this you?"
guy think he is? Do you want to come to our country or
Put the
not?"
transcript.
I was going to start asking them, but for you, when you guys should get to your country?
Bro, but no, that was crazy. That and the fact that all of that happened in one weekend, bro. It just
Nah, this was a
That
scary
only
kid,
happens in
bro.
that.
So
place.
the statistic
Where's the
also says there was
so you
a
guys
shooting.
read these stats every episode.
We have a
Depends on
segment.
how we are feeling.
We have a segment called Only in America. It was supposed to be a fun segment.
It took
But then, bruh, only the first episode was fun. All other ones, man, they've just been so sad, man.
So
And
this is a
only
funny
in
thing.
Uganda segment would be hilarious. Guys.
Only Uganda.
That would be hilarious.
Actually, that would be fun.
We should
The
do that.
stuff
We should do
goes,
that.
that goes down in Kampala, Uganda, or just
Yeah.
Uganda in general. All those videos that get sent around.
No, first chill Uganda. Do you see that guy who fainted in Kenya?
Yeah. When they ask him about the money, he
Was that Kenya or Nigeria?
Nigeria.
Nigeria.
Nigeria,
But
something
that thing
like
is
that.
old, right? It's a few months old.
You guys,
And you know, the funny thing is he peeped.
When they try to force his mouth open like a dog. That has eaten something he's not supposed to eat. That's when he woke up and I was like, chill, bro. And then he came back to his senses. Nah. That video was hilarious.
Oh wow.
What wild shit has actually been happening in Uganda? I saw a TikTok. Is that Eddie Kenzo TikTok?
What's that?
It's similar to the Ruga one. Yeah.
Wait, what?
I don't know if that guy thought it was a rave, but
happened?
Kenzo was on stage and he was having fun watching into the crowd. And I guess this one guy was raving or some shit. He had his Fanta. And that guy
That
just...
movement looks sus, man.
Poured it on
First-
him.
First hold the Fanta another way.
No, that guy kind of like waved his drink at Kenzo like and spilled like hella
Fanta
Fanta
on
on him.
Mm.
Kenzo stepped back. He swung his mic at that guy. Bro, he swung
Like a bolus.
it. He was like
Like a bola.
into the crowd, bro. And that's why I TikTok ends, bro. I don't know what happened Kenzo after that. But thoughts
Probably
and prayers,
nothing.
bro. Eh?
I
Probably
got paid.
nothing.
But he just gave him another mic. Another mic.
No, did you see that guy?
So this broke
Which
it.
artist was that again? There's a guy who threw his phone on stage. Like, you know, those guys were
And
seated on the
someone in the crowd threw their phone on
Lil
stage.
Uzi.
I don't know that was Lil
Lil
Uzi, yes.
Uzi.
I don't know that was by accident or something, but then
Okay.
Lil Uzi saw it and just threw
You know,
it.
it's like that's a new
Threw it
thing.
into
Like
the sky.
people go for those concerts and then throw their phones on
It's
stage.
the artist
Yeah,
picks it up, yeah.
because I was wondering
I saw
how
someone
those
doing
guys
it
got
with
their
Chris
phones
Brown.
back.
One that who did that for Chris Brown.
Yeah,
Yeah, I saw that one. The guy who broke into that festival. That was a
Yeah.
sick TikTok.
That festival.
Wireless.
Wireless.
No, I was
Yeah,
about
let's
to
go.
ask if you guys have been seeing any Afro Nation footage.
We've seen snaps. We've seen
Speaking
snaps.
of, I've been seeing not of Afro Nation itself, but of the parties that the artists are having.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
my
I've
days.
been seeing that as well.
Nah, I've never had so much FOMO to be in a room, bruh. Like, this room has like Mea Kun, it has
Yeah.
Burna Boy, it has Wizkid, it has Buju, but all of them look like normal guys, bro. Like,
Just
they all look
chilling.
like normal guys. It's so sick, bro. Wallahi, bro. I was wondering,
Would you guys want to
at
go
first I was
to
wondering why they're all in
Afro Nation
Portugal.
or Afro Nation Ghana?
Both.
I would want to.
I think I want to Ghana.
Both.
I think I'd want to do both.
Can do both.
I feel like Portugal will be for me.
You have to pick.
If you have to pick one,
Ghana.
Give me Portugal.
yes, change.
I do
Why
Ghana.
is that? Why is
Guys,
it
run away, escape.
Yeah.
I know what you mean, bro, but nah, I
Portugal.
think
Even I know what you mean.
Reparation.
That Portugal one will be too well organized. Let's
No,
just
I
And
definitely
also
do
Ghana,
Ghana.
you don't even need a visa.
yeah, I think that's
Yeah, you don't.
that's for me. That'd be the appeal. I'd also just always wanted to go to Ghana.
Yeah, it's just such a cool African country to visit.
Maybe
I
I'd want to
feel
go there, and I can trust the weather, and I
Bro,
can trust
Portugal
the
for me is just a
language.
bit too Portugal to be a
I've never been. I don't know, but that Portugal Afro Nation looks lit, bro.
Remember when those guys tried
It's
to
And
not
I feel like
talk
out of
about
all of
every
them,
year.
this year's is the one that looks lit compared to
I
like the
get
others.
you. I get you. But I also don't know if with the others I used to see as much
I
as
guess.
I'm seeing now.
I guess maybe. But I definitely want to do Ghana.
Bro,
So
guys,
guys, next year Ghana.
all the
Ghana,
Afro Nation
visit
stories
Ghana.
I hear are nasty, man.
Why? From who?
We are here.
Melvin.
We are podcasting. Tell us.
We're coming back with paintings from Portugal. guys.
No, I just
Kind of reparations.
nah. You see, look, that's the type of jazz. Like I don't know if me as what I want to go for a festival. like I want to go and enjoy the music, bro.
Same.
How are you? No, but okay, when you
But
go and give
also-
them your money, how are you getting reparations?
You've gone there.
You go in there, you're
got a
giving them your
visa,
money.
what?
The tickets.
First leave Trevor.
You're patronizing
festival.
the community.
Trevor is playing 3D chess right
Trevor is
now.
playing with your heads, all of you.
He's speaking in anecdotes.
Bro, this is-
Nah, but I think out of all those, You know how weird my music taste is. I'd want to go for what's the EDM festival in Belgium?
Oh, I saw that. Oh,
Tomorrowland?
What?
Tomorrowland. That's actually what I would want to go for, rather than Afro Nation.
Every day.
Uns, and then go to Ghana and then dance. Hey, I'm a pianist.
Well, I can't uns.
You can't do
Even that uns stage at Nyege. I cannot be there for a short time.
Where I can uns for 24 hours. You get
like people are buying tickets and stuff. It's
badly. The whites. $95, bruh.
Is that how much Nyege has always been?
No, that's for non-East Africans. 130k for East
They're
Africans.
too happy to be an East African.
130 bob. Yeah, guys are buying tickets. I think we just need to have someone from Talent Africa up here just to explain, like.
You know what we need at
idea?
Nyege? An Expressions UG stage.
Do you know you should talk to the Bantu Vibes guys and just collab because they have a stage.
They have don't they do the Bell stage?
Yeah. I feel like I'd be a dope.
I've just realized
that
we're almost an hour in and we've not yet talked about Expressions.
Yeah, man.
And you know the way to say today is I had a call with Keith and he's like, what are you doing today? I'm like, I'm going on the podcast and like I'm going to talk about my film, but I feel like I'm boring other than that. What should I talk about? He's like, Expressions.
Duh. Yeah, talk about Expressions. There's an Expressions this weekend, isn't there?
There is, guys. Yeah. Actually, this episode won't be out by then. I was going to say, come through on
Sunday.
It will?
It will, yeah.
Guys, so surely you know what Expressions UG is. Should I explain?
No, explain it.
Expressions UG is like a music platform, and the aim is pretty much to like, I guess, boost or like propel forward like Ugandan, East African, and African artists, like in a way that I guess kills the narrative that like we don't make good music, we don't have diversity in our music, and the music from the West is the best, that kind of stuff. So we have a YouTube channel where we like post live sessions, and we also have like shows monthly with different like upcoming Ugandan artists, fresh artists, new artists that you might have never heard of. That's what Expressions UG does right now. And we have a show this Sunday at Icon Lounge. Gates open at 4 p.m. Show starts at 5 p.m. For this show, we'll be featuring Lucas Black, who dropped a dope-ass album, I think in May. Klaus, the rapper, who... aside from Mutono, guys, I don't know anybody who raps like
shout out to Klaus. Klaus watches the pod, and
yeah.
Klaus really, yeah, like he's one of the dudes who shares this a lot.
So yeah, Klaus, and the third artist is Tunji. A lot of you might know him as Alvin. He does a lot of stuff with Wanda JR. So yeah, he's coming to perform his.
This is a rap expression.
This is fine.
Yeah, it's a rap expression.
On that note, Ugandan DJs.
You are the hit makers. You are the hit makers. But just so you guys know, the Expressions DJ always plays Ugandan music, underground Ugandan music.
Who is the Expressions DJ?
Like,
Unfortunately, I've only been to like
the Expressions
one.
DJ is Mwami. He's an artist himself. Check him out if you don't know him. MWAMII Mwami.
How long has it been going on? Expressions.
I think just over a year now. We started last year in Feb. I would say.
I think that's the last time I went.
Can you imagine?
I went for the one where like Conrad and Dennis.
Yep, that's like the first, like our second edition. Yeah. But yeah, guys, like my dream with Expressions is to be able to see like Ugandan, Kenyan, Rwandan, whatever artists, Tanzanian artists headlining shows. Like I'm tired of seeing, okay, all the other artists are great, but like I'm tired of seeing Adekunle's headlining and then Bantu Vibes are the supporting or the opening acts. I want Bantu Vibes to headline. Like there's so many artists with dope music, and I think it would be so much. It would be great if like there's a lot of collaboration. So like, you know, Ugandan artists in Kenya, Kenyans in Uganda. Like let's mix and mingle.
You know, I've really been thinking about that a lot.
New way forward.
I've been thinking about that a lot since Dennis's pod, and I feel like part of it's not even really a problem. But because artists here have to do so many like small shows to make a living, I feel like it has an effect on if guys want to come for a big concert. Does that make sense?
Explain.
Like, I don't know if before recently, artists were always going around doing all these, like, say, this person at Budo League, then they go for like over this night and they also perform, then they go here and this. They be doing all these different performances. To a point when they say, okay, now I want to have a concert of 10,000 people. A lot of guys don't want to come.
Guys like, I already saw you.
But
my thing is like, that's guys, there's only so much that also musicians can do, because at the end of the day, the truth is, guys, if I brought I know there has to be a balance between the quality of their work, but also like we need to support them, because if it was, I don't know, what's this guy who recently came, Fireboy, I can guarantee you if he did 5 small shows, we would still pay to go see him at Lugogo Cricket Oval.
Yeah, but that's the thing. So if I saw Fireboy at Lugogo Cricket Oval, am I still going to pay to go see him at Stress Clinic Mondays? And then if he also does Budo League, am I going to pay for that as well?
Okay.
It's one of those things. Like, I don't know if that's
but
what's
surely
like.
there's enough. But I guess maybe there should be enough people to, like,
to be at all of them. Do you know? I think
like
that might be the
different crowds
issue.
at different things.
Maybe there's not enough people. Like, maybe there's not enough paying customers to just.
I mean, that's also
attending.
true, because we all know that, like, whatever, I guess they call it the urban scene, the new wave scene, whatever you want to call it. It's not. I guess right now it doesn't feed a majority of Ugandans. Like that's a niche. It's like a niche. It's not even one genre, but let's say it's like a niche community in comparison to how big Uganda is.
And I feel like that's the community that Expression serves.
Yeah, wants to serve.
Yeah.
And
Let
wants
me ask
to,
you a question about that. Picture Expressions at its peak. What does that event look like? The event,
It's
not
a festival.
like
It's a festival.
Afro Nation.
is
To be
peak.
honest, I love that, bigger. No, my thing is, Afro Nation has a lot to do with like the partying, which is dope, and I would obviously has to happen at a festival. But I want this to be like I want it to be about the music. I want guys to come for like the artists and the music. But definitely I guess definitely something as big as Afro Nation, like different stages for different like sounds and different DJs. I think the biggest thing I would see is a festival, and a festival with like, I don't know, these are the artists I'm thinking of now because that's who I think I'm listening to now within our region. But I'm thinking like Karun is headlining, Conrad is headlining, Mike Kaihura is headlining, like all the different great artists across East Africa.
You have a very interesting taste in music. Should I? This is why. Have you ever used Spotify on like PC?
Yeah, that's where I only use it.
And
on
it
my
shows you
laptop.
like what your friends are listening to.
Yeah.
Now, whenever I see what Sherry is listening to, I'm always like, which artist is who? And then I listen, I'm like,
Not too bad, not too shabby.
So yeah.
Yeah.
I remember being so excited about that feature when I first saw it.
What feature?
Like being able to see what everyone is listening to.
I love
And you realize
it.
guys just listening to the same
love
thing.
it.
Your people really listen
Sometimes
to
I
that.
feel like I can tell people's
That guy.
moods.
Is it with me that in his car when you are going, you're driving me somewhere, there is only Afro beats?
This
Yeah,
guy
yeah.
had a playlist called K6. Legendary.
That's your best one. I like finding out which
Which
playlist
playlist of
is.
yours people like?
Everyone has theirs.
Yo, what's the ideal duration for a playlist?
That's a good question.
17 hours.
I won't judge because I have a playlist that's 22 hours.
Yeah. That's too long.
And
Okay,
it's-
my longest playlist is like 5 hours.
Okay.
It starts like very new wave, East African alternative. Then it goes into like some soulful stuff. Then it comes like it's like a journey. I try to like mimic the journey of like what I thought the trip was, or what we wanted the trip to feel like, because it was not just me. Then it goes into like piano, and then like some South African house. Like it just goes in and out of things.
The best music normally is music that prevents aggressive use of violence.
Aggressive use of violence.
You know,
What
like,
about
you feel like it can make you
progressive,
violent.
productive
Yo,
use
do
of
you remember
violence?
Zani?
It's okay.
Eh?
You remember Zani by Billy?
Oh yeah, that's
Billie
that's the
Eilish.
one.
That's
the one.
That's the one.
Hey, you can feel your skin vibrating.
It promotes aggressive use of violence.
Not aggressive, bro. That one just melts you, man. Yeah. So that question stands. What's the ideal?
You know how
duration?
like, sorry, I was going to bring something else up.
Bring it up.
You know how like because you asked me like where I see expressions. I don't know if you guys know how like with colors they got so big that for a lot of artists, like a lot of like alternative artists, getting onto colors for them was like
Huge.
blew their career. I want us to like be able to leverage enough resources and networks and like access to things that's what we can give the artists that come onto the platform. Like
Where's Colors from originally?
German.
And that's
I don't think
crazy.
it's France.
That's
German.
wild. to
Isn't that
me.
crazy?
Yeah.
That it's from Germany.
Do you know I thought
Sorry.
Colors was actually African?
What?
No.
Yeah. Ghana.
Because I only watched the African.
Hey,
It's just
Colours.
weird, like a platform that big not being from America.
was it
That's
you who
It's just
told
weird
me?
that it's not from. It makes sense to me that it's not from America.
Really?
Look at the artists on
No,
Colours.
obviously it's Fly. But
No, but like it's so non-mainstream that for me it had to be European.
you think so?
Yeah, it's so
Yeah,
non-mainstream.
I'd have guessed France or something. But
Yeah.
was it you told me that the microphone in Colors is not real?
Yeah, it's all green screen, right?
Did you know
Even
that?
the microphone.
Yeah, the
Everything's
mic-
green
No,
screen.
guys,
The microphone
is
isn't
not
green screen,
You think
but
that
it-
those
it
guys are
didn't
so
function.
good to act? They know how to pretend.
I
that
think do
it's
they
in
have
one
to act?
place.
They just have to look in a direction.
But
Them
no,
don't
but
move
have you
that
not watched? No, bro, they've done ones. There's somewhere the person does this, then they do
Eh.
this, then they, when their voice is loud, they do this. Nah,
Eh.
it's a microphone.
But you can mask the end.
Ah,
You know, yeah, they put for
The
your
I
microphone
was
is
reading-
tracking his lips.
No one ever shoots that thing in their own crib. They give you like a green screen, then they
I
put
was
the
reading
mic.
an article before like Colors had like the money to move into their own studio and stuff like that. They painted every single background.
Jeez.
They had a studio, they had like
Whoa.
a small space, and they would paint the walls for
Whatever
every color
colour.
they had to do.
Suddenly
guys are
was
big.
Wait.
Yeah.
These guys had paint on them.
Sudden stock went up.
Suddenly.
Plasco, no what? It's now Plasco.
That's lit. Then what about Tiny? Oh, that's NPR. Right?
NPR.
It's NPR.
NPR music.
You guys are Usher Tiny Desk.
Yeah, I saw the memes and I went and
I
watched
mean,
it.
especially-
That's all I saw, but I've been dying, bro. Did you see, speaking of Black American singing, did you see the verses? Omarion verses.
Yeah.
That was
Yo,
the
what is it about him
funniest.
eating? He was eating watermelon. What's going on with my boy?
Listen, man.
What's going on with this guy?
Omar lost his mind in that verse.
I just saw the highlights. Who was eating watermelon? Who was
Omarion.
like,
Oh, Marion.
on the show?
Yeah.
But me,
He was
that
trying to
thing
stay
gave me- Did you
healthy.
hear Jeremiah? Jeremiah trying to sing.
No.
Bruh, fail. Like,
Was it
zero
Jeremiah
marks.
versus Omarion?
No, it was
Omarion
versus Mario.
Omarion versus Mario.
Mario.
But they kept bringing all these other guys, Ray J. Like, so they tried to sing one of Ray J's songs. One wish, one.
So no, Ray J had a Ray J did a verses with some guys before this verse. It was like the what's the word? Like the opener or something.
Oh,
Curtain raiser.
He sang his song. And the guy got pissed and the audience was like, nah. So he came up to sing his own song. He was singing his own song. And the guy knocked, bro. The guy's voice was cracking on his own song. Bro, that was just the most confusing, like,
That's like Givian.
verses.
Did you guys see Givian? How he even looked at the mic? Like, what is
Yeah, but
going
the
on?
thing would give you an it could have. Let me first keep for Jeremiah because that's my guy. But Jeremiah was just fighting with COVID like a few months ago. That guy was in a coma.
Who told him to come and sing?
That guy was in a coma.
Who
Why
told
was
him
he
to
there
come
But he
and
came
sing?
for his boys.
Guy was
Yeah,
holding
boy,
roses.
boy.
What are those roses for? Anyway, the thing was just so funny. He kept putting the mic from his mouth.
Jeremiah.
Hey, Jeremiah. When Mario was killing me the ad libs, he kept saying like, "Hey yo, hey yo, stop, hey." That versus was hilarious.
Solidify his position as the king of R&B.
Ooh.
People are saying Asha cannot
Who?
perform live.
Who
Asha.
said Asha can't perform live?
Who said
That she
that?
can't perform live.
Dragged him on
Who said
You guys
that?
are mad. Asha
said
can't
that?
perform live. Who can perform live then?
Asha's
Asha
always
can never
had
Asha
lit
had-
live shows.
Asha's had one L in his whole career.
Which one is
Like
it?
a situation there.
In fact, I should add that somewhere in my film. Let's talk positively about
How about the
these things.
CDs? I think so too.
Let's
Hey!
let's not stigmatize.
There was here. I was like,
Let's
what did
not.
Asha?
Let's not.
Did he kill a woman syphilis?
No, right.
It wasn't that.
Syphilis.
Allegedly, I
Bro.
don't happy.
You guys,
Allegedly,
this is World War One.
Oh my God.
No.
Guys, out of all those things, out of all those STDs,
Eh,
that one sounds horrible. Like if
Syphilis.
someone says you have it,
Syphilis.
what's gonorrhea?
okay, man,
Remember
gonorrhea.
chunk raid?
That sounds like a name, bro. Sounds like
Someone's
some
name.
ratchet
Chunk
guy.
raid,
Chunk
Lubenga.
raid.
Hey, but yes, I've heard of chunk raid before.
But chunk raid was the worst. I remember they showed
Chunk
us
raid.
pictures of chunk raid in S1. Oh my gosh.
What
bruh.
what do the
Even
pictures
name,
look
I
like?
don't see the
Just know it's
pictures.
basically this guy's sausage with a wound so big that this guy's sausage is about to like break in half because of the wound.
So
Like-
first change topic, man.
No, why did you have to go there?
That's why
This
else
guy
you call
has
it.
to be
That's why else you call it a sausage.
I couldn't
Yeah,
say
it
that.
is sausage.
The technical term.
This guy is sausage.
I
That's
even had a
funny.
serious question. For
I'll never
Shari,
forget
now
those
it has
images. Like I wish I could forget that picture of Chunk Raid, bro. Like Chunk Raid.
Stop saying it, man.
How's that spelled?
Where did you see? They showed
CH.
you in school.
Yeah,
Like
they,
this
they,
is the stuff you
they
can
called
name.
us to the mess, like where you eat from, like the
Chunk
dining hall.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh, bro, to show us Chunk Raid. But anyway,
Yeah.
I guess now
Yeah,
you know.
man.
And the more you know, the more you earn.
Listen, you eat what you like.
Chunk Raid. Chunk Raid's on the menu.
Oh my god.
Sit the rascal. What are you asking, Shari?
Said you
I've
had a
forgotten, man. This guy's chunk rate just has
Chunk
taken it.
Such a funny word, eh?
Mm.
Chunk Raid.
question. It sounds like the wound though, because I'm sure the wound
Chunks.
chunky and
Yes.
you see.
Yes.
We're not calling this.
Nasty ass
We're not
wound.
calling this episode Chunk Raid, bro. I'm sorry.
Now we might get demonetized. Just
not
take
calling
it down.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Okay. Aside from expressions, I feel like we should also talk about snacks.
Let's
Yes,
go.
that was my question.
Our fellow YouTubers.
Let's go.
That was my question.
Mm-hmm.
Snacks. So for anyone watching who doesn't know, Snacks is the YouTube channel that I have with my best friend Ethel. Snacks is like a combination of our names. We've been best friends for like 12 years now. And we both happen to be creative. So the channel kind of is about like friendship, our creative journeys, and I guess also just like adulting, because we started it straight out of uni and life was just flipping us left, right, and center. And we were like, there's probably other people who want to have these conversations or talk about these things. And then also because we're both creatives and content creators, we vlog and make cute things and make nice visual things for you to look at. Yeah, that's Snacks right now. Did you
Why
have a
is it- why is it
specific
called
question about
Snacks?
Snacks? I just said our names.
Oh,
Okay,
did you?
so our friend of ours, her name is Faye. She just started calling us Snacks together because like she's like, you're hot, so you're actually Snacks, but like your name's Ethel's in Shacks. I'm Shari, Snacks, and it just stuck.
That's
And
better
that's
than
why
your magic Muchi
We've
Make something up, bro.
been trying. So we asked our
The
friends. We asked our friends what we should call like our fans, and Melvin Chibiki was like gorillas. So we've been like saying it
Yes.
every time we post, but I don't know
Yeah.
if people are gonna stick to be like, yeah, I'm a
Yeah,
gorilla.
Yeah,
It
just
depends
make
on which
much.
gorilla.
Eh,
Tomato?
Tomato
Or beef?
Beef all the way.
Okay.
Damn.
Eh,
As long as I'm not
beef,
in- And cheese or any of those other funny
Yeah.
things.
Is
But
that cheese
I actually
gorillas?
just don't like
yeah, cheese
gorillas.
gorillas, there's chicken gorillas.
all gorillas
Actually,
were
chicken
cheese.
gorillas are the worst.
Chicken gorillas are the worst. They taste like Royco.
That's what I was
That's
trying
the
to think
best
of.
thing I can
Chicken.
explain.
Do you guys actually like gorillas?
I love gorillas. Beef gorillas.
I beef gorillas.
I beef gorillas.
I eat what I like.
Hey, well done, well done,
That's
well
it.
done.
That's it.
Mm.
Okay. Does anyone else have any topics
I have nothing further to add, bro.
on
In fact, I have
that?
a
Oh.
call to turn.
Shameless plug. You can plug anything you want to plug right now.
Shamelessly.
Anything?
Shameless anything.
Do I
Wait, did
know?
we finish all the things that you do? Those chicks be doing a lot of things.
Right
that
now,
everything?
Yeah. For now, yeah. You know, if you give guys too much, they're like,
Yeah,
okay,
yeah,
we're
yeah. Oh,
doing
no,
big.
yeah.
And also, the next time you come
For
back,
now,
we
we're
won't have
giving
what
them
to talk
expression,
about.
Snacks, I eat what I like. Next time I come back, I eat what I like will be on Netflix.
Hey.
Or like Hulu or
Oh.
something.
Hey,
Let's go.
I agree.
All right,
Ah.
shameless plug, guys. Like I said earlier, I'm trying to make $8,500 to make this film. I think we're at $2,000, and we've only done like 8 days. So thank you to anyone who's donated or shared. Yeah, these guys will link it in the description. They'll also link a Momo code. Yeah, that's for the film I Eat What I Like. Check out Expressions UG on YouTube and Instagram, and check out Snacks on Instagram as well. I mean on YouTube as well. Yeah. Thank you guys for having me.
Thanks for coming. And on that bombshell, guys, thanks for watching. Make sure to like and share and subscribe.
First bees, why is it always a bombshell?
It's a bombshell. Was it not a
What
bombshell?
do you want it to be?
It's okay, you bombshell.
Okay, on that, blood clot.
Yeah.
On that blood clot. Anyway, peace.
Peace.
Peace.